everybody, it's Chris Eads, and on the line is Wootini here with another Gay Gamer video podcast episode. This week, I went to see Sonic 3, like all the other gamers. And I have to say, it was actually good. I have to say, I was kind of surprised. I remember enjoying the first one, and then the second one, like, they added more characters like Tails and Knuckles, and then they added some more humans, and it became kind of a mess. And it sort of got better at the end. Like, it ended strong, but getting there was kind of not as much fun. But this one, they're adding even more new characters. But it somehow worked. And then the whole thing with, like, the family theme was always there from the start. You know, Sonic stranded on Earth, he has his found family, and it's like this whole family thing, whatever. But here in this one, I feel like it really like worked to hold the whole thing together, because all of the various plots were all family themed, and it all just came together, and it was like, oh, nice. So it's still funny, and it's still got the crazy madcap action, but this one actually has a little bit of heart, and it kind of feels like, you know, like they had a good story here, and it like works all together. And I was like, ah. And Jim Carrey has twice as much opportunity to chew the scenery. It's insane, but very well done effects for the double role. And even Keanu Reeves as Shadow kind of works in a weird way. It's hard because, like Idris Elba, you hear Keanu Reeves. He's not a character. He's just Keanu Reeves' voice coming out of Shadow. But it sort of works. And I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I only have a casual knowledge of the characters and the lore and whatever. So there were a couple of moments where, like, the audience around me was like, whee! And like freaking out, and I'm like, okay, I guess that's a reference to something, you know, because I only got like some of the references. Like at the end, there's a mid-credit sequence that this character shows up, and the audience lost their shit, and I'm just like, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. I had to look it up online on the way home, because I was like, who is this? But clearly there'll be a main character in the next one, because they're clearly going to make another one. I think it's going to do... I mean, it was a packed showing, so I'm pretty sure it's going to make some good money. And there will be a Sonic 4. So if you enjoy the other two, go check this one out, because it's, I think, probably the best one. It's legit good. I am surprised as anybody to admit that. As for gaming, I continue to juggle all of my games at the same time. I have kind of found a routine that works, and it helps that the daily games can be played for like shorter periods of time. Like, I will always play Animal Crossing every day, but I can play Animal Crossing in like 15, maybe 20 minutes tops, because there isn't that much to do after 5 years. I clean the island, I talk to some people, I check to see if there's anything new. There usually isn't, and then I'm done. You know, there's not a whole lot else to do. You're not going to spend like 3 hours, you know, fishing or anything anymore, because you have everything, mostly. So then there's Disney Dreamlight Valley, where you can kind of get in and out in 5 or 10 minutes, you know, because you want to check the daily thing. So you check the store, and you get your blue chest to get your free 50 moonstones, and then you can just say, okay, I'm done. I don't need to play anymore. That's what I need to do for today. Except for right now, there's a whole Star Path going on. So, I mean, it's fine. There's like 2 months to do a Star Path. So it's not like a rush, and I don't have to sit there for like 3 hours, like I sometimes would, like sucking away the day, just doing Star Path after Star Path thing. But here, I can be like, all right, I'll just spend like 10 or 15 minutes, like, sometimes I can't find the blue chest, and then I end up doing other things while I'm finding the blue chest, but I'll try to like advance, maybe do 1 or 2 Star Path duties, or like do one and advance another by doing some fishing or whatever I need to, cooking or whatever. but I have plenty of time, so I'm not devoting too much time to Disney. Um, and I also have all of the new friendship quests and the DLC quests and everything, because they just added Sally, and I still haven't finished The Lion King, and it's just, I have a lot to do in Disney, but there's no rush. So I play Disney for like a little bit, and it's fine. Then I go play Infinity Nikki, because you also, with that one, checking in every day gets you some bonuses and whatever. I'm still trying to figure it all out because it's all very complicated. It's like this lovely little open world game, but with so many complicated systems that I'm sure I feel like I'm getting the hang of some of them, but I'm sure that there are many others that I'm just not. I think I am, but I'm not. But Infinity Nikki is a little tricky because you can check in, do a couple of things, and check out, but it is an open world game with lots of exploration, and you can lose time because you'll be like, oh, let me just see what's over here, and then, oh look, let me do this quest, and oh look, it started a new quest, and let me go do that, and suddenly it's 2 hours later, and you're like, oh my god. But I still have not found any paywalls. There are no points where I can't play the game without spending money, which is kind of insane to me, but whatever. I do, but like said, I do feel like I am getting the hang of some of the stuff, because you can, like, I figured out this week that there are 2 kinds of resonance crystals to get for the gacha pulls, and I would always have like the regular ones, and so the limited edition outfits need the limited special crystals, but I don't have a lot of those. And then there's like the regular ones where you have plenty. So because of that, I was able to finish. This a couple of days ago, I got the last piece so that I could finally assemble the Whispers of the Waves outfit, which is one of the like regular always available outfits. And I thought it was really pretty, so I selected that one, and I've been getting the pieces for it, and it's like, oh, it's lovely. And it's gorgeous. I love it. It like kind of animates like the fabric, the waves flow on the fabric. It's really pretty. But as I started playing it, I was like, this is weird. Because it felt really weird to like run around and like do platforming and jumping and like attacking enemies in this like gown with all this jewelry. It just seemed kind of incongruous. It's sort of like when I would play Assassin's Creed and Assassin's Creed Odyssey, when I like put on the oiled loincloth thing and I was running around all oiled up in a loincloth, and it was kind of funny visually, but it just didn't feel right because you're killing people and having these fights and you're naked, and it's like, eh. So I very quickly changed out of the gown and back into some regular kinds of street clothes, so it looks a little more normal for me to be running around doing this action stuff. But I feel like I'm getting the hang of it, sort of understanding some more of the systems. Like I'm leveling up. Like there was one mission, I couldn't do the main mission because it was like, oh, you need to be a skilled stylist, and I was still a junior stylist. And I'm like, well, how do I advance to be a skilled stylist? I'm like level 13. Like, how is this not happening? And then I found out that you need to do the daily wishes, which I was not doing. Well, now that I'm doing them, I clearly was doing the wishes, but I wasn't taking my rewards and, purposefully doing some of the wishes to help get, because you level up, then you also have to get the stars or the crowns or whatever they are. And then combined, that raises your stylist level. And so what happened was I did a couple of days where I did the daily wishes, and I went from being a junior stylist all the way to a pro stylist. I mean, I became skilled and pro at the same time. I like skipped a level. I did 2 levels at once. It was absurd. So whatever. So I just got to make sure that I keep an eye on the daily wishes. There's so much to pay attention to in this game. It's really annoying, but it's also weirdly fun. And I keep playing it, even though the controls and the updates and everything is so annoying. Because that's one of the things that irritates me. I've mentioned how it feels like a mobile game. The menus are kind of insane, and the actual controls, the gameplay is fine, but the controls are sometimes a little questionable. But they actually fixed one of my problems Now, when you're doing a dialogue, you can press X or O to advance the dialogue. And then when you have a question to answer, you press X. So I can just press X the whole time like a normal game, and it's fine. And I don't press X. I don't press circle and then X. It's fine. So I appreciated that update. That was very nice. It was a little... but the updates themselves make me crazy. Because even though it's an open world platformer game, it's still a mobile game at heart. So you boot up Infinity Nikki, and 9 times out of 10, there's going to be an update. Because you have to be online. If your internet goes out for whatever reason, you can't play Infinity Nikki. And when you log in, 9 times out of 10, there's an update. And the actual size of the update and downloading the update takes like 30 seconds, but it can take a good couple of minutes to prepare for that update. So, like, there are times when I'll hear that entire theme song. I enjoy it, but I don't want to hear the entire theme song while I'm waiting for that bar to fill up so that I can actually start playing the game. I don't know why it can't be like other PlayStation games and download in the background. Every time I want to play it, I feel like I have to sit there and wait for 3 or 4 minutes before I can actually start playing it. And like last night I was playing it, and they were like, all of a sudden I got this pop-up and they're like, hey, the companion event has started, whatever that is. And I don't know what that is because I have not yet started to play it. I haven't looked at it because I don't know. It was like, restart your game to like install this update and check it out. And I'm just like, no, I'm not going to put myself through that right now. I'm actually playing it. I'm just going to keep playing. And maybe tomorrow I can check it out. Because I don't want to sit there and watch it update. But as annoying as a lot of Infinity Nikki is, I still enjoy playing dress up, and I still enjoy exploring this cute, adorable world. And I can't explain it. It's weird. But sometimes I will get stuck in there for like an hour or so, just exploring and doing stuff, and then I'm like, hey, go play some Starfield. So I have to like stop myself and then go play some Starfield. So that I can get some progress in Starfield. And I have made some good progress. I finished another story mission and, discovered the Starborn. And now Constellation's all like just figuring out what that is, and we don't know yet. Seems kind of obvious, but whatever. So, like, I decided, okay, I'm advancing the main story quite a bit. Let me go do some of these side things that I've kind of been ignoring. And I decided that I would leave Barrett at the lodge and take Sam with me to Aquila City so that I could join the Freestar Rangers. Because I was supposed to do that, and I never did. So I was like, let me just go do that. They're like Wild West cowboys in space kind of thing. They're like the sheriff. So I was going to be a sheriff's deputy. And Sam seemed like a good companion because Aquila is his home. So he would be a good companion for this kind of storyline because I've advanced Barrett quite a bit. We've had some story conversations, and I've even had some with Andreja, so I'm like, I need to advance Sam's side quest story. And then at some point, I will go on missions with Sarah, but she's kind of a drip, so I just need to figure out, like, I'll go on something with her. Maybe I'll use her for the main story missions or something. But I need to advance them so that I can do their, like, story quests for the companions. They have their own side quests. So I decided I was going to do that with Sam, and we're going to do some missions together, and that'll be fun. And as we were leaving, Barrett was all like, hey, Sam, have some good adventures and come back and tell me all about it. And I'm just like, oh, I hope Barrett doesn't get jealous that I'm now running around with Sam. Because there was one time I had a conversation with Sam, and I did get a flirt option, and I did use the flirt option, so I feel a little bad. But Sam isn't as bad as I thought he was in the beginning. In the beginning, I thought he was a little stiff, but now he's kind of loosening up, and now he's kind of funny. He's not as funny as Barrett, but I am kind of charmed by Sam. He's kind of charming. So now I'm like, oh, do I want to romance Sam, or do I want to stay with Barrett? I don't know. So I feel like this is going to be the ongoing love triangle. Is going to be the main thing in Starfield. Forget the Starborn, forget the artifacts, forget all the side quests. Let's just worry about the love triangle. but yeah, I've been doing side things, and now I've been doing some Freestar Ranger stuff, and some stuff on Aquila. I try to alternate when I do these kinds of games. I find I need to alternate like a main quest with some side stuff, and I'll do some side stuff, and then I'll be like, okay, let me go back and do a main story quest just to keep the main story, because I can't let the side stuff overwhelm me, because then I completely lose track of the main story quest, and then I don't know where we left off. That's a problem. The problem is also that I can manage to balance these 4 games, but I still haven't gone back to finish the Quarry, because as you might recall, a couple of weeks ago I did find some time to play the Quarry, but it was only for like a half an hour, 45 minutes. And the problem with that game is that I was just starting to get into it, and then I had to stop to like go make dinner or whatever. And so I feel like I need to, like, something like, Starfield, I can play for like 20 minutes and get a little progress in a mission or something, and it's fine to do it in little bite-sized pieces. But with the Quarry, it's a story, and it's very story-driven, and you get involved in the story and you get into it, and then to have to jump back out again, I'm like, I need to find time when I can spend like an hour or so playing the Quarry so I can really get into it. Maybe with the holidays coming up, I'll be able to find some free time to do that. Because with the holidays coming up, I have no free time now. But on the actual holiday, well, not Christmas, but maybe New Year's. Christmas is too busy. But maybe New Year's, I can find some time to sit down. Come back next episode and see if I found the time or not. Bye!